The speaker of the session will be Nisar Nadiadwala, and he will be addressing the topic of the hazards of the conventional economic system. A bit of a background about the speaker. Nisar Nadiadwala has been a regular and familiar speaker at the Islamic Research Foundation auditoriums for the past 10 years. In the absence of Dr. Zakir Naik, Nisar Nadiadwala handles the regular open question and answer sessions at the IRF on Sundays. His passion to serve Islam made him choose the field of da'wah as his profession. He is presently a research executive at the Islamic Research Foundation. Nisar has also delivered Jummah khutbas in many of the mosques around India. He attended the Interfaith Dialogue Conference in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. And then in July 2008 in Madrid, Spain, which was hosted by King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. So I would like to invite our dear brother Nisar Nadiadwala to the podium to address the topic of the hazards of the conventional economic system. Brother Nisar Nadiadwala.
Alhamdulillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Qul la yastawi al-khabisu wat-tayyib. Walau a'jabaka kasratul khabis. Fattaqullah ya ulil albab. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam bil lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected Chairman, Brother Musa, my elders, my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The topic, as announced by the chairman, hazards of conventional economic system. According to my subject, I would tell you that may Allah protect your wealth. And that is what the subject is all about today. The conventional economic system is known by different titles nowadays. Some people say it's global economic world order. Some people say it's only capitalism. But one thing for sure is that this conventional economic system, which is comprising of the banking, the insurance, the credit cards, the mall culture, the consumerism, this conventional economic system has a tremendous impact on our lives, on our family lives, on our personal choices, on our religious festivals, on our local culture, on our fashion, on our taste, the food that we eat, on our national policies, as well as it also has a tremendous impact on the international politics. This is the conventional economic system that we are going to talk about. We are shown through the media, we are shown that this economy nowadays is an economy that is blooming like a rose flower. And it reminds me of the favorite or popular quotation or a phrase which says, all that glitter is not gold. So this economy, conventional economy that we see of the credit cards and the dream houses and the mall culture, all these things that we see, we will scrub it and see how exactly it is gold or whether it is only glittering. That's what we are going to study today, inshallah. You see, nowadays we are experiencing an economic meltdown. Many people are losing their jobs. Many people are going bankrupt. Companies are going bankrupt. This is becoming a global phenomenon nowadays. People fear of economic meltdown, losing their jobs, losing their wealth in share market. People fear this more than they fear Islamic terrorism. According to the survey done by the US Today, it's a periodical from America, and it's quoted in one of the famous books by Robert Kiyosaki, in his book, The Prophecy. In this book, he says that the Americans fear the global recession more than Islamic terrorism. Now, why is this happening? Let us see who are the main game players in this conventional economic system. Who are the main players? The first is the banking system, that is the riba-based industry. And because of this riba, interest-based economy, slavery is being revived again, believe me. And this is a new system of slavery. In the early days, free people were kidnapped when they were traveling and they were sold as slaves. Then there were war captives. They were also taken as slaves. But in today's term, in these days, in this age of consumerism, people walk into slavery. Unfortunately, our financial liberty is held and controlled by our banks, the credit card systems, the financial institutions, the private lenders, and on and on and on. These are the people, with the help of advertisement and media, they are controlling our financial liberties. And we think that it is an age of consumerism where the consumer is a king. It is a hogwash. It is an exaggerated statement. It is a foolish statement. In these days, it's a type of slavery. People are walking into the debt traps, and those who are students of literature, let me invite them to see the meaning of the word mortgage. Mort means death. So you are in debt till your death. They have already told you. And they make you king. The consumer is a king. The consumer is a slave. We'll see now. We will scrub the glitter from the gold. On an average, you see in our own country, India, we have a small state, Maharashtra, where this convention is being conducted. Maharashtra, when you see the budget of the Maharashtra, just recent budget, it says that 13% of the government expenditure is given or is paid as interest to the lenders. 13% of the expenditure that our government in Maharashtra makes, it is spent on interest. They have to pay interest. The states are also burdened under the mountainous loans. Great Britain, one of the richest countries, one of the most prosperous countries, it has no less than 2 trillion pounds to be paid to the debtors. Various world agencies, monetary funds, and financial institutions. Officially, English government have to pay 2 trillion pounds to these people. 2 trillion. It's not a small amount. And this situation, the economists say, it is worse. It is worse than it was during the Second World War, when United Kingdom experienced the worst of its financial recession. So today the situation is worse. I am not speaking about the poor African nations. I am not touching that poor countries. As it is, they are hungry. As it is, they are poor. I am talking about the glittering countries, the golden economics. We are told that these are the icons of prosperity. How prosperous they are, we are examining it. On the other hand, if you divide the loan on the head of American government, if you divide by the number of its citizens, each American citizen has to pay $5,000. You may think that $5,000 per head, Brother Nisar, it's okay. It just looks like per capita income per month. I say no, multiply it with the 250 millions of American population and you get a mountainous amount. The amount that is to be paid to the creditors. This is the situation. On the other hand, what is the position of our Indians? According to news reports and The Economist, in the year 1991, we Indians, we had borrowed loans for housing. This is the sector where maximum amount of loan is being borrowed. The amount of loan borrowed was 3,300 crores. 3,300 crores of rupees was the amount of loan borrowed in the year 1991, and it jumped in the year 2004. In the year 2004, this amount reached up to, hold your hearts, 1,35,000 crores. 1,35,000 crores is the rupees that the Indians have taken loan to buy a dream house. Dream house. And same with the other sectors also. The personal loans, besides the housing loans, we are talking about the personal loans as well. The educational loans, the loans for getting your daughter married, the furniture loans and the loans for vehicles. And if you put up all the rest of the loans, the amount reaches to 2,58,000 crore rupees. We put both the loans together, it reaches around 4,00,000 of crores of rupees. The Indians on individual capacity have to pay the financial people, the financial institution from whom the money has been borrowed. The conventional economic system is a systematic legal way of robbing people's money. Systematic legal way of robbing people's money. Do you know that last year when the share market crashed globally, the financial institutions, they pulled back the money from Indian share market and the other countries as well. Quite a huge amount was pulled from the real estate sectors also. Now I'm telling you why the rates of the flats and the apartments are still high, especially the people of Mumbai and other big cities. I'm explaining it to you. Listen very carefully. So when this financial institution, they pulled back $20 billion invested in Indian share market. According to Ajit Dayal, he's an author in Quantum Asset Management Company. He writes in the DNA, Daily News Analysis. He says that after this money was pulled up, share market experienced a crash of around 60%. It came down, it fell down. But the real estate market, it experienced a mere fall of only 18 to 20%. That's all. Only 18 to 20%. Why? And he gives the reasons. This is a national newspaper. He gives the reason saying that the public sector banks, our nationalized banks of India, they pumped in no less than 32,000 crores of rupees in the real estate. And where did these banks get the money from? Let us go back. When we are earning, most of the Indians, we are salary class. People are in government offices, people are vendors, people are salesmen. As a huge part of our country's population, India's population, is working class, middle class. And when they start their family life, they dream of a house that I will collect some money and buy a house in future. So they collect the money, and where do they put the money? They put the money in the banks. We all know that. They put the money in the banks so that their money will be protected. But Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in his book, The Prophecy, he says that what if the bank turns out to be a robber? If the bank robs your money, what happens? And he gives the example. So we go back again to the same statement, that when we put our money in the bank, what do? They pick up the money and they approach the builders and they invest or they give loan to the builders. Now the real estate, they have a lot of money. So there is no need for them to fear the crash. There is no need for them to lower the prices of the apartments which people require desperately. Our population is growing. We require wealth. We require properties. But they are holding the price because now they have enough of money. On the way, while the construction goes on, and when the work is delayed because of certain reasons, as it happens, on the way, the builder, they feel a stress, a pressure of the interest that they have to pay to the bank. So even if they want to sell their properties at a lower rate, they cannot afford because they have to pay huge amount of